Hello everyone, I'm back again. Finally after God knows how long, and since it's been Christmas break over time, I didn't want to record something because I wanted to get in with the holiday. So, do you know what this gentleman likes in games? Exploring. Well, exploring is more the word. I've just been watching a little too much Cat Icarus. So, yeah, I love adventure games. Especially, it just takes me back to my childhood watching Indiana Jones in front of the TV and with a tub of popcorn, and then after that playing the game that we are reviewing today. And speaking of Indiana Jones, I think I might review his one video game adaptation next time, because nobody knows it exists except for me, I think. Anyway, this is Pitfall: The Lost Expedition. Now, I know about the Pitfall timeline. I know that there was Pitfall on Atari 2600, there was Atari... Excuse me. Excuse the noise back there, it's my annoying sisters. So, there was Super Pitfall on the regular NES, and then there was also Pitfall: The Mayan Expedition on, I think, either Super NES or Game Boy. I'm not really sure. But then came the GameCube/PS2 adaptation, Pitfall: The Lost Expedition. So you play as Pitfall Harry, obviously, and little do you know, well, what you're really going to be surprised is that the guy can talk this time around. For most of the time, he's been a silent hero. Maybe there were more Pitfall games before that or after that, but I'm not really sure. The four I named are the only ones I know. So you're going to South America, aboard a plane set, I think, in the 50s. I'm not really sure. But anyway, you meet up with this scientist, Bernard Bittenbinder, and he's going looking for something. I think he mentioned something about the crystal skull, but I'm not really sure. But then he meets up with a shy young bookworm named Nicole McAllister, who's going to South America looking for her father, Kevin. Yeah, Home Alone reference. Yeah, think of it, Kevin McAllister. Can't be a coincidence. Anyway, she wanted Bernard to go with her to find him because he disappeared, and Bernard was going to be his guide to the rainforest in Peru, but he was too busy to join him. So it's up to Harry, Nicole, and Bernard, as well as their nerdy sidekick Hubert Leach, who sounds really familiar, to go and find him. Along the way, you come across allies and adversaries, including a very subtle Frenchman named Jonathan St. Clair, who is Harry's old nemesis, a smoking hot native, Mickey, voiced by voice acting goddess Cree Summers, and you even come across a talking jaguar named Quickclaw. Yeah, also voiced by the same guy who does Harry's voice. Yeah, Cree Summers the only voice artist I know in this game. So anyway, you travel around the forest doing favors for the characters, and Harry kind of hits on both Nicole and Mickey at the same time, and there's a little bit of drama twist in. There's a very subtle and possible romance between Nicole and Harry. Now, up until you go to the end, which I am not going to spoil because I want you to play this game. It's either on PS2 or GameCube. If you own either one of those consoles, buy Pitfall: The Lost Expedition. It's so awesome. What do I like about this game? Well, obviously the characters. It's got a good sense of humor about them, and they're anime abstract. You know what? If you know what I mean. They're designed like they're from an anime. Okay, they're kind of missing the... Okay, they got the big eyes and all that. You know, the fan service involved, but... Anyway... Anyway... There's also the pretty easy to get controls, because it's a little like Crash Bandicoot, only with better graphics and humor. No, I'm not saying Crash Bandicoot games aren't funny, I just never played them. Now... voice acting's good, humor's good, the backgrounds, oh my god, the backgrounds. when I said that there were bland as hell levels in my list of things in games that I don't like, this is not one of them. The backgrounds and visuals in this game are freaking beautiful. When we got to an ice level on these games, which is actually pretty easy to play. Now that I think about it. When I was playing the game with a friend of mine named Seth Lane back in my old neighborhood, we got to a puzzle solving section where you got to free sort of lights or flames or something like that so they can align on a door and open it. So you've got to go to each respective tower, knocking out enemies along the way. Pretty easy to get. But when we saw the mechanics open and the music pick up, I was like, Seth, my boy, this is it. This has got to be the ending. Nothing can top something this big. Little did I know that I was wrong. So, what do the enemies include? Let me think. There's mercenaries that chuck dynamite. Yeah, guns are for wusses. And you do acquire weapons along the way. You've also got howler monkeys, which aren't accurate at all. You can also fight bats, crocodiles, penguins. Yeah, penguins, I'm not kidding. And scorpions that are as big as you are. Yeah, I forgot to... Did I mention this game's not really accurate? And of course they aren't really accurate with the natives and everything, but come on, it's a cartoony game. I wouldn't exactly go so far to call it offensive. It's not offensive in the least. Anywho, what else is it? Oh, I forgot to mention that this game is incredibly easy. Yeah. Even if you fall down a pit, the usual way where you lose a life or it's a one-hit kill, you don't. You bounce right back up and then you lose one block off your life. And you continue buying blocks from shamans along the way. How ironic, considering the last boss of the enemy is a shaman. Kind of spoiled it right there, but I'm not going to spoil the rest. Now, what else happens in the game? Well, it's actually pretty simple. You go around collecting artifacts and you gather weapons along the way. You can get a canteen, a slingshot, some dynamite, a gas mask because there are poisonous plants along the way, a shield to protect you from weapons, the sun, and they say you can even use it to float down the river, but I never figured that out. And then you can also get a raft from Leech. Well, Leech, I don't know if I got this on, I don't know if I said this on the first take or anything, but Leech is the nerdy character. He also created something called the gyrocopter, which is basically a helicopter propeller that you hang on to. It's gotta suck. Anyway. Now, there are a couple of things I don't like about this game. What I don't like is that every boss in the game is unbelievably easy. Well, not unbelievably. I mean, there is one part where there are parts where you're transformed into animals and your soul is transferred into an animal's body and vice versa. The penguin, you have your soul transferred into a monkey, a scorpion, and a penguin. There was supposed to be a fourth one, but that already happened, and that's a spoiler. Kind of a spoiler for later, but I'm not going to say anything. Well, anyway, when you get your soul transferred into a scorpion, which is the second one you get, the monkey being the first, and that one's really easy. The scorpion, it's a very hard boss to beat. It took me like, what, 20 tries before I finally got past that level? And even with that, I had help from Seth at the time. The penguin one was easy because, well, it's actually pretty simple. Now, the one tiny itsy bitsy teeny weeny little thing that I don't like is that the game is too easy. Aside from the scorpion boss and the final boss, this game is so easy, it's not even funny. Of course, it took Seth and I about a month to beat it. But then I restarted. Then we restarted the whole thing, and strangely enough, there's even a small Easter egg where if you beat the game, you can also play as Nicole. But it's just a skin where you still get Harry's voice. I was kind of wondering what Nicole would sound like if she ever obtained an artifact or freed someone, so you can continue the game even after you beat the game. That's so cool. Oh, and plus, one last thing I like about this game is how surreal it is. I mean, the fact that the final boss is a shaman and all these crazy things that his magic can do, and not to mention you can also get it from Mike for her collecting butterflies, well, you collecting butterflies for her, and then you collect them for her. Somehow they transfer magic to her, the jaguar being gifted to speak, and plus holes in the ground that have teeth on them that chew you up, spit you out. I mean, this game is like a cartoon if it was serious, which is a rare thing. So, what do I think of this game? Pitfall: The Lost Expedition is an easy as hell PS2 GameCube platformer that I could play day and night if I could get my hands on it again. But unfortunately, I don't own a GameCube, and even though I've still got the Wii, I keep forgetting that you could play GameCube games on it. And I haven't found a copy of the PS2 version yet, so I haven't been able to fix it. So all I can do is watch clips of it on YouTube. What a tragedy. But it's still a great game with interesting characters, surreal imagery, beautiful backgrounds, a decent story, and the fact that you can continue the game even after you beat it. I know, it's just so weird to me. I don't know why, but it just is. So, I give this game a nice and solid 4.5 stars out of 5, just because it's too easy and two bosses are a little too tricky. So that's all I can say about it. And for those who are wondering what's coming up next, look on my damn head. Like I said, I'm gonna review Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings next time. If you don't know what that is, just wait.